time. Time? Yes, time, but not the one for me to whine. For I need to explain and maybe express my disdain about this element which is omnipresent in the tiresome journey that is our life story. So please, let the clock tick and follow closely its hand, as all I have to pick are only 4 reasons to give an explanation to my previous demand. And now let us commence. May we start, my audience? In case you do not remember, timeouts in Bullet Hell are spells that require lots of skills, if you can't tell, as all of them have the effect to force you to evade bullets, until you waste the time given to move on to the next conundrum. So, what is my beef with them? I don't have any either, rather the problem is when you let it simmer. Stacking up too many starts rising the anger, but without this timer, the games would be dreary. But enough with my blabber. What is the reason for those little buggers? The PC-98 is the part where we need to go back to if we want to find out what those cards truly do. In this simple era, no spells nor declaration could be realized. There is just the frightening terror of death-dealing projectiles. No restraint it would seem, and for your eyes, it may be a dream. Oh, a small starting invincibility. Isn't that fine and dandy? But it being the only way to stall time doesn't mean that the bosses are in their prime. Most of their fights end with a hopeless yet brief last resort bullet shower. But let's face it, it's more of a mess than an actual danger. Then spell cards came into play, removing the potential commotion and by the same occasion allowing for prettier displays. Timeouts are expanding on that concept, focusing on only one spec. Dodging becomes the main objective, making battles look much more impressive. So in the end, there's no real issue, I'm okay with them existing, but I only bring out the tissue when these appear while fighting. What's this? I shout to my monitor when what I see higher is a 2-digit number ticking down until it is over. I know I might be nitpicking, but play a game and start fighting and you'll see why this babble isn't just some random quibble. Time in a fighting game is a poor man's plan to make itself a name by just running around and running down the timer while its health is higher. Of course it can be fun to run around, but let's say I have something in mind, and my friend wants me to explain a trick or two with racing. Nope, can't do that unless it's under a minute and 40. Now hurry up and fight, Snorty. I'm not saying that time is forcefully bad, but it should be turned down a tad, or at least give us the option to remove this contraption. What's the most ironic is that out of all of touhou's hits, the game considered to be catastrophic was the one who nailed it. Immaterial and missing power, quite a subject we can say, but let's focus on what matters, that being its gameplay. Most people which played it will admit that controls aren't really refined, but forget the separate blows as well as the clunky combos, and in the combat midst, the absence of time will spring to your mind. Although it might seem quirky, not having this feature makes combat go much faster once you know how to press keys. Time isn't necessary as the god will wither if your enemy decides to cower, and trying to soar to heaven will only result in exhaustion. IAMP is far from great, especially with controls, but it shows that we can altocate without any other goal. Anyway, I won't rant any longer, I just wanted to give my opinion on the matter. Thank you for listening to me everyone, I will see you I hope, maybe next time.